this is Larry the Barber Man. I'm here at IBS New York 2017. I have a very special guest, DL, Darrin Lyons. As you may know, Darrin Lyons is a motivational speaker. He's a celebrity barber. He currently owns his own barbershop, which he has done for 30 years. If you've seen DL on YouTube, or you've seen him at a barbering event, you'll see that he's always beating up young barbers to do the right thing and the correct thing in life and with their barbershops, and to treat their barbershops as a business. So DL, in your previous life, you was a high-end celebrity barber. You was, by all accounts, I think you made a lot of money and you lost a lot of money, and you've used this experience to empower and educate young barbers. Tell me a little bit about your previous life.
Well, I originally came, when me and my mother came, we came up from Ohio, a very small city. And she had no plan, but she had a purpose. She had a purpose to change my life and have a better life for me. And my mother, her biggest thing was she just wanted more opportunity for me. And coming up into projects and dealing with a situation that was very hard. The school that I graduated from was a school that graduated from the hard knocks. A lot of us have graduated from that. But the funny thing is that I just wanted something different. I wanted to change our financial situation for me and my mother. And by changing that financial situation, it put me into a situation where I was so passionate about becoming a barber. I was so passionate about, making a success for me and my mom so we would never have to live in the projects again. But I didn't know that passion would take me into something else that was a different space, a different time. And what that space and time was, Jerry curls was out, barbershops were losing, barbershops were closing down because barbers would not make the transition to changing into rollers when Jerry curls came out. Then hip hop shows up on the scene. We all know where hip hop is today. Hip hop, for y'all that are listening, hip hop is not the hip hop y'all listening to. I don't know what y'all listening to, but that is not hip hop. Hip hop is where I come from. Hip hop is from the Roots, the Run DMCs, the Public Enemies, the Sets, the Sonics, the De La Souls. That's real hip hop to me. That's just my own personal opinion. But when I come into hip hop, I was a student. The rap artists all had to come to Hollywood to sign their record deals. That was an amazing thing because they were kids, I was a kid. When hip hop first came out, I was cutting off the Jerry curls and giving them flat tops. Designs were out. And so I end up doing a lot of the New York rappers coming into Hollywood because they would talk. Hey, yo, son, there's this kid that's nice with the clippers, son. Yo, son, this kid was nice with the razors, son. Putting in New York symbols in the back of the head, putting in the Twin Towers. I had this kid named Chiba. It's like, yo, son, you think you can put that New York symbol in the back of my head, son? I said, son, can I put the New York symbol in the back of your head? I'm gonna put the New York symbol in the back of your head. The Twin Towers, an airplane flying over the Twin Towers, and the sunset, and I'm gonna color it. You can do that, son? I said, son. So what ends up happening is that catapulted me into meeting more and more rappers. And because of that, everybody who was in the rap industry started coming down. We were having fun. I was cutting hair. I'm going to the hotels not knowing who I'm cutting because back then they didn't have the faces on the rap artist albums. So I heard their music. I just never knew what the face was until Yo MTV Raps. Once Yo MTV Raps hit the scene, oh my God, it changed my life. It changed their life. And we end up growing together. The rap history, the rap game, and barbering actually merged at the crossroads because they needed barbers to create these unique styles for them in order for us to do what we do. Thus, me meeting Tupac Shakur. Once I met Tupac, everything else changed because of the movie Juice.
Okay, that makes sense to me. And ultimately, how did you okay, that's what I wanted to ask you. You said that you earned a lot of money and you lost it. Just tell me a little bit about some of the mistakes you were making.
At the age of 19 years old, I opened up my first shop. At the age of 21, I became a multimillionaire. By the age of 23, I ended up losing all of the money. I figured out a way in less than 700 days to lose millions. And the reason why is because I didn't understand how money worked. You know, I knew how to create the money. I didn't know how it worked. I didn't understand taxes. I didn't understand how to invest my money. So I had money coming in, but I had more going out than money was coming in. Because in my mindset as a youngster, that the money was always going to keep coming. And because I thought that money was always going to keep coming, I was spending more than I was bringing in. And then also I had to deal with taxes, with tax issues. I didn't know I had an uncle. I didn't know nothing about my uncle. And when my tax person said, man, you owe your uncle, I said, my uncle has passed away. He said, your Uncle Sam? I don't know no Uncle Sam. So, you know, and then he was talking about the I, the R, and the S, the Internal Revenue Service. I didn't know nothing about Uncle Sam. I said, you talking about the big dude with the hat, with the stars and the spank, all, you talking about that dude, 4th of July dude? I don't even know him. He's like, no, son, you don't understand. And that's because of lack of education. There's an old saying that says this: when you think education is expensive, try ignorance. And see, I didn't have that education. So I was making, and if you look at football players, if you look at basketball players, if you look at a lot of entertainers, when they don't have the understanding of financial situation, if they don't know how to deal with their money, they're gonna lose their money. 60 to 80% of all barbers and hairstylists retire broke, and the reason why we retire broke is because we don't understand how money works. We know how to make it, but we don't know how to keep it.
Okay, that makes perfect sense to me. So you made this your passion in life to educate young people.
You ask me, do I make it my passion? It's more than a passion. It's about my heart. It's about what I believe in. It's about what I think other barbers really want. I think when I'm speaking the truth, and I think barbers are hearing what I'm saying now, I think they know it's because I'm a living example of what I'm talking about. I'm not just speaking it, I'm a living example of it. If I tell a barber that he needs to be dual licensed, then guess what? I wouldn't got my other license. I wouldn't got my cosmetologist license. So I'm not just a barber. I'm a barber and a cosmetologist because I make sure all my barbers are dual licensed. The reason why I want barbers to understand this is because this is our craft. This is our industry. And it's not just about putting hair on the floor. It's not just about coming to hair shows. It's about what do you learn when you go to the hair shows. A lot of barbers, a lot of hairstylists come to the shows just to see their favorite star, their favorite stylist, what they see on Instagram, what they see in American Salon. But are you getting the information that you need from them? Are you asking them how they got there? Are you asking them, how can I be like you? Are you asking them, what can I do to be like you? Are you asking, will you be my mentor? These are things, these are real questions that we need to ask each other so we can get to the next level. There's no way that you're gonna do it really quick and really fast unless you have the roadmap. And people who've already done it have the roadmap. Let me just find out, let me connect, let me plug in to that person so I can actually see what's really going on. So I can actually see, hey, let me tell you something. People say, I want to be like you, DL Master Barber. Please listen to me well. Larry Barber, please listen to me what I'm saying. Don't be like me, because if you try to be like me, you're going to be a cheap copy of a priceless original. I want you to be original. I want you to be you. You are an original person. So I don't want to hear nothing about somebody being like somebody else. Man, people in the UK, don't you come here to the United States and be like us. Be like you. You are a unique individual. You are a unique barber, and I want you to be that unique barber. Come out here, understand our ways, and then put on. Let me tell you something. Do you know, Larry, that Puffy Combs, and I used to work for him too, 3.5 years, by the way. Puffy Combs had coined something that was very unique in the music industry. He learned how to remix something. We call it sampling. He was the king of sampling. He didn't change the concept of James Brown's music. He just been a spoke in the wheel of his music. I want you to be a spoke in the wheel of the barber industry. I want you to be a spoke in the wheel of changing the way we do hair in the hair business. Instead of just trying to do something different, do something unique, change what we already have, because nothing's new under the sun in the first place.
On top of teaching people about money, it's all about the standards as well. I see you're really big on standards. Tell me a bit about your what you think
standards.
Yeah.
My mom had me read books. How to Win Friends and Influence People. The Richest Man in Babylon. The Greatest Salesman in the World. And one of my favorite books, All Are the Places You'll Go by Dr. Seuss. You can go to a lot of places. And it's funny, when you read Dr. Seuss books, people think Dr. Seuss wrote it for the kids. Dr. Seuss never wrote those books for kids. He wrote it for the parents. He did the illustration for the kids. But the words that's coming out of his mouth, the words that he put on paper were for the parents. It was for the adults, so you can understand and you can teach your kids. When he wrote Green Eggs and Ham, when you look at that, I don't want no green eggs and ham, Sam, I am. He traveled all over the world chasing this young individual, trying to get him to try some green eggs and ham. And then he finally decides, after he chased him all over the world, and he says, Give me these green eggs and ham, Sam I Am. And then he tasted them and he said, wow, this tastes pretty good. I would like to have some more green eggs and ham, Sam I Am. It's because what he was saying to you is don't knock it until you try it. Don't knock it and say, I want to be a platform artist and never try it. Don't say I want to be a motivational speaker and you never try it. And some people are scared that false evidence appearing real, which we call fear, is the reason why we're hindering this, is the reason why it's paralyzing us from getting what we want, is because we're afraid to do what we want because we're afraid of success. So when I read these books, it creates my standard. When I read the books that my mom used to make me read, it created my standard. And see, McDonald's has a standard: 2 off beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese. I know the standard, but I've never been there. I've been there, but never worked there. People understand that. When you go to Walmart, they speak. That's a standard. It's a standard that they have a greeter in that front of that door. Look at me, look at my eyes here. There are somebody waiting at that front door. It's a standard. When you come into the IBS, there's somebody waiting for you to say, hello, how are you doing? Are you in the right direction? Are you going in the right place? This is a standard. These are standards that we have to live by. Starbucks has a standard. This is what the barber industry lacks. Some shops have it, some barber shops have it, a lot of beauty shops have it. They have a standard of the way they do business. The only reason why I've been in business for over 30 years is because I've created a standard. I created a standard for my barbers to have at least a 750 FICO score on their credit scores. I created standards that my barbers can be homeowners because I want them to be homeowners. I don't want to be the only homeowner. I want them to be a homeowner. I created standards that show the barbers that they need to have choices. The only thing money can do for you, Larry, is to have choices. That's the only thing it can do. Money can't buy love. Money can't buy friendship. It buys entourages, but entourages aren't real. Money can give you more choices, and that's what this is about, giving people choices.
Okay, so you're about the standards and I'm all about sharing the knowledge to the barbers and finding out. I'm like a gold digger, yeah, right. I canvas.
Right.
So what I'm going to do now, I want to canvas with you what is the biggest mistake barbers are making and what can they do right now to change it as a golden nugget.
The biggest mistake,
yeah.
Ooh, is easy. That is a very easy question, Larry. Man, let me tell you something, brother. And I know you got a plane to catch. The very easy thing to say what is the biggest mistakes that barbers make is education. Education is key. You have to be educated. You have to be motivated, inspired, and empowered to educate yourself in order to be a great barber. Most barbers want to continue to put hair on the floor, but most barbers don't want to educate themselves. Most barbers don't want to do what it takes to become that great barber. Most barbers don't want to do what it takes to be at hair shows like this. Most barbers stay in their neighborhood, in their shops, and they know everything. You think you know something, you don't know nothing. That's the reason why you're making the money that you're making. The people who are making good money are the people who are being constantly educating themselves.
Okay. And what
Steve Jobs, Warren Buffett. When Steve Jobs was alive, he read books. Warren Buffett reads at least 5 books a week. How many books have any barbers have you read in the last week or 2 or a month or year? They say the average American only reads 1 book a year. So what is that saying? That's saying if you want to be the best, then guess what? You got to educate yourself. If you want to be the best, that means you need to educate yourself on the tools that's out there in the industry. You can't be using the same tools and trying to increase your income. You can't be showing up late and say you want to raise your income because you went to the IBS and they said, oh, I need to raise my income. You raise your income by raising your value. If you're not willing to raise your value, then don't say nothing. Zero, nada, nothing. I don't know what zero means in the UK, but here in the United States, nada is Spanish for zero, nothing.
Okay, brother DL. What are you doing to help these brothers?
What am I doing to help? I create books, Barber IQ. I am DL, the Master Barber. That's what I do. I create books like Pocket Game, The Art of Saving Without Saving, teaching barbers how to save their money. $20 a day, folks. $20 a day, barbers. $20 a day, barbers. If you take your first haircut and put that in your back pocket and save that $20, and the average barber works 5 days here in the United States, Larry, 5 days. 5 times 20 is $100. You times that times 4, that's $400 a month that you are saving. That's why it's called The Art of Saving Without Saving. You ain't did nothing. I'm just trying to help you create a lifestyle and a discipline to save money. A part of what you earn, you keep. You times that times 12, you're just shy of 5,000. Times it times 10, you're shy of $50,000 in 10 years, Larry. Come on, man. Save some money.
So what is the name of this book or this course that you have specifically, and where can they find it?
Pocket is called Pocket Game, and the next one is called Pocket Game, and the next one is called the Credit Game. That comes out, to believe it or not, Larry, we're waiting on our turn in line right now for Presswise. So this is Pocket Game right here. And guess what? It fits in your back pocket.
All right.
Bam. You keep the information in your pocket, baby. That's what it's all about. These kids don't read. You can't give these kids a novel. Harry Potter books don't work with barbers. This type of book, 40 pages, will change your life. Trust me, it does. And you ask a lot of barbers who read that, they own their own shops now. You ask a lot of barbers who read this book 2 years ago, now they own their own house. We met somebody coming out the hotel out of Florida. He said, I just bought my first house, DL, because of your book. I'm not just talking about this stuff, I'm being about this stuff. And I'm traveling the world because I want barbers to understand the only way we can do business, the only way we can compete with hairstylists is if we practice good business. Our business practices are whack, straight up and down. Barbers' business practices are whack. But I will say this, I'm not talking about all barbers. A lot of barbers, our business practices are whack, Larry. And so what I'm doing is trying to teach the basic fundamentals. Speak to people when they walk in the door. Have a clean shop. Do good work. Professionalism. Sanitation is key. But number one thing is customer service. There's no celebrity barbers out there. They're lying to themselves. It's celebrity customers. Treat your customers like a celebrity and you'll never be broke.
Okay. So this book, where can they get it specifically?
You can get this book at Amazon.com. Amazon is worldwide. You can get this book, man. Just download it. If you want it for yourself, all you got to do is order it, dlmasterbarber.com. But I want you to know something. UK, this is for you. This is what you need to do. Study, practice, discipline. That's what it's about. Study, practice, and discipline. Where's the studying come from? That means you need to get to education so you can study what you're learning. You practice. Make sure when you get in that shop, you practice the stuff that you learn. And discipline, meaning you show up on time when you're supposed to show up on time. Larry, my dad used to tell me this, if you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. And if you're late, you're just late.
Did that put you in good stead?
And UK, I'm coming. Larry, me and Larry, we're going to get this together, and I'm coming to see you. I'm not scared to get on no plane. I got a passport. Trust and believe that. I got a passport. Passport keeps me going. That's my American Express, if you will. It gives me freedom to go wherever the hell I want to go. So guess what? I got to have a passport. Barbers out there, if you don't have a passport, you're doing yourself a disservice. Why? It's because you can't come to where you want to come. If somebody calls you right now and say, hey, I want you to come speak, you ain't ready. There's an old rap song that says, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. You better get ready.
Okay, so let's just say, hypothetically speaking, there's a barber out there that wants to absorb your knowledge and your wisdom, but they're not necessarily a reader. Do you have like workshops, if you like, or do you go on stage and teach this stuff specifically for 1 day, 2 day, 3 days?
Well, I do have mentorship program. It's funny you say that, Larry. I did something very different this time that was very unique from any time I've ever traveled. I came up with this idea called the situation room. The situation room is meaning wherever I am, in whatever state, whatever city that I'm in, I decided to have 4 barbers or 4 stylists, whoever, want to come to my room and they can have an intimate setting. I would let them pick 2 things, 2 problems that they're having, and we'll go over those problems. I'll come up with a strategic plan for them how to overcome those problems and so they can get on to the next level. Because a lot of times, because these shows are so big, you don't get the individual help that you really need. So what I did was created a situation room, because it is a situation. These people got problems, Larry. Everybody ain't got it going on. Everybody ain't rich. Some of these people took their money from their rent to get on the plane. Some of these people ain't gonna know where they stand tonight after this snowstorm hit. But they said, I gotta be here because I gotta meet Larry so I can get interviewed by Larry so he can take it to the UK. I wanna meet my favorite barber. So I got to do what it takes. Some people have the will and desire to do it. So I'm creating a space called the situation room. So when I come to the UK, guess what? Y'all better get with Larry. And if you don't get with Larry, you might not be able to get in touch with me. But you get with Larry, we're gonna have a situation room and you can come in and I can help you do the same thing that you're trying to do, is take it to the next level, take it all the way up. I also have a mentorship program, Larry, and that mentorship program is a 6-week course helping them get to their short-term, 6 months, long-term, 5-year goals. That's what I wanna do. I wanna show them how they can do it. If you wanna be a platform artist, I've been a platform artist for over 20 years. I can show you how to do it. You wanna compete in shows? Guess what? Undefeated. I can show you how to do it in the IBS, at the Long Beach Hairdressers Guild with the best, not with barbers, with worldwide stylists is what I win in. So just know that I'm not somebody just talking about it, I'm being about it. You wanna work for celebrities, that's what you really wanna do? Guess what, been doing it for 25 years. Tonight Show, Jay Leno, Puff, Big, Pac, you name it, High Five, Soul For Real. Come on, this is me. This is me. I'm not out here to boast and brag about this stuff because I can care less about working for celebrities, but that's been my path. That's the which way I came through. But I'm not saying nobody else should come through it. I want to educate, I want to motivate, and I want to inspire, and I want to empower barbers and stylists if they want to learn. But if that's what you want to do, you want to do that. Guess what? I have the experience for it. I'm not some fly-by-night guy who only did it one time. This is what I've been doing for 25 years. I worked for Eddie for 20 years. And so some people think, well, you're insignificant if you didn't do the star's hair. It doesn't matter. In order for you to work in Hollywood in hair and makeup, you don't have to do the star as long as you're working on the show. I was what you call a copycat. I can duplicate any haircut in this hair show right now. Show me a picture and I can duplicate it. So I was Eddie Murphy's stunt double's hairstylist. So anytime they have the stand-in and the stunt double, that would be me. Stacey Cut does Eddie Murphy's hair. They send me a picture of the front, back, and side of Eddie Murphy's hair. I duplicate that hairstyle, so now the stand-in can look just like Eddie Murphy so they can do retakes. I'm still on the movie, I'm still on the clumps. Now they have to do Eddie Murphy. You don't have to do the star, but you still get credit.
Okay. UK, this is DL. He wants to come to the UK.
I'm coming, I ain't no want. I'm speaking into existence that I'm coming to the UK.
This is
Can I say something to the UK? UK, listen to me. I want you to live your dreams. I want you to stay focused. I want you to believe that you can do what you want to do when you want to do it. There's an old saying that said this: if you do what you ought to do, when you ought to do it, there'll come a time you can do what you want to do when you want to do it. It's time for you to start living your dreams. You can do it. All you got to do is find your it. And once you find your it, what are you going to do with it? Who do you need to bring in to get it? And once you get it, what are you going to do with it? So whatever your it is, find it, UK. Whatever that it is. Don't let anything stumble. Don't let anything block you. Don't let anything tell you. Don't let somebody else's reality tell you who you are. You are priceless original. So be the best that you can be. Go wherever you have to go to get the information that you need. And listen to guys like Larry, because Larry's bringing the information to you right at your home, right into your phone. You got somebody that's flying all over the world trying to give you information. That's dedication. And when you have somebody like that, believe in them. When you have somebody like that, focus on them. When you have somebody like that, subscribe to them. Because I'm going to tell you something. It's not going to come to you knocking on your door. And who am I talking about? Opportunity. Don't ever let opportunity walk past your door. Stand out there and wait for it. Tackle opportunity. Because I'm telling you, your season is coming, but don't let it pass you by. I'm DL Master Barber, and I'm telling you, I'm sitting down with Larry the Barber Man, and he's dropping that game.
DL, thank you very much. We're out of here.
We out.